Nigerian political analyst Aminu Gamawa is in Washington, D.C. this morning, joining us with more. Thanks for being with us. U.S. relations with Nigeria, as you know, hit a low point at the end of Goodluck Jonathan's term. How important is this restart in relations to Nigeria, and what does it mean for the U.S.?
Well, Nigeria is a very important country. It's the most populous country in Africa, the biggest democracy, and the biggest economy. So it is in the interest of both Nigeria and the U.S. to have a very cordial relationship. Sadly, the last administration didn't manage it well, and I think Buhari is not here only for help. Is here to renew a relationship that dates back to the 1960s when Nigeria became independent, and at the same time also to find a way of solving a common problem, which is the insecurity in the northeast, which is threatening not only Nigeria but also neighboring countries. President Buhari contested and won the election, promising to fight two things: to fight the insurgency of Boko Haram and end the violence, and he has taken some concrete steps toward that. He has appointed new service chiefs and new security team to ensure that they pursue Boko Haram and they end the violence, and secondly, to fight corruption. And he is also here to seek cooperation of international organizations and countries to repatriate the wealth stolen from Nigeria.
Let's talk a little bit about the specifics he might get from Washington. What should the U.S. role be? For example, is Buhari planning to restart training of troops, Nigerian troops, by U.S. Special Forces, which was, of course, halted during Jonathan's administration?
Correct. I think that is one of the things on the table. He wants to renew training, but at the same time also there are some equipment that the Nigerian army is lacking, which the U.S. government refused to sell to Nigeria due to the Leahy law. But now that we have a new army leadership that is committed to transparency, accountability, and obeying the law, I think it is time for the U.S. to review its policy towards Nigeria.
You're referring to the law that prevents the U.S. from providing arms to armies that, frankly, have been accused of human rights abuses. That leads to my next question. Is Buhari's past role as a military dictator affecting perceptions of him at all in Washington?
Well, that was a military rule. This is democracy, and as he has reiterated many times, he is now a born-again Democrat, and there is a democratic process in place, and he has mentioned severally that he is committed to rule of law and human rights, and the international organizations, the local NGOs, and other civil society organizations will keep putting pressure on the Nigerian government to respect human rights, and I think the Buhari administration is determined to do things differently, and that is why he is here in the U.S. to seek for cooperation and partnership.
Boko Haram is often described as a political creation driven by corruption, but also things like inequality and youth unemployment. Is Buhari doing enough to address these realities 6 weeks into his term?
Absolutely. I think the first thing that needs to be done is to understand the problem, and I think Buhari understands that this is a problem that requires both military and non-military solution. We need to address the root causes that give birth to the violence, like unemployment, like illiteracy, especially in the northeast. And one of the things that he will be doing, he will be meeting with the World Bank, World Health Organization, to see how he can assist in rebuilding the communities destroyed by Boko Haram, and in also providing better education and better employment opportunities in the northeast. Yes, Buhari is only less than 2 months in office, but I think he has taken concrete steps toward providing a lasting solution to the insecurity in Nigeria.
A born-again Democrat, as you called him. Aminu Gamawa, thank you so much for your insights this morning.
Thank you, Father.